Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us yet again for an episode of That Solo Life, the podcast for PR pros and marketers who work for themselves. I am Michelle Kane. My company is Voice Matters, and I am here as always with my wonderful co host, Karen Swim of Solo PR Pro. Hi, Karen. How are you today?
Hi, Michelle. I'm okay as we all
Yeah,
are. So for our listening audience, this podcast is going to drop after the Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully you will be, relaxed and enjoying this on a walk or on a beach and have a few days out. But for our live audience, we would be remiss at not acknowledging the heavy burden that's on all of our hearts with the Texas school shooting just having happened yesterday. And Michelle and I were chatting, pre-broadcast, and we are struggling to
yeah,
focus. And um, but we are here, and we're going to do
yeah.
our best to talk about the topic that we had planned to, but we don't want to make it seem like it's business as usual for anyone who might be joining us live or watching this and connecting the dots to the date. We're not being insensitive um,
Yeah.
at all, and it's hard. It's a tough day.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I think glossing over it is one of the ways that we desensitize ourselves. I mean, not that, you know, not that you live it 24/7. Thankfully, neither of us have to, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
We're
And
not personally
I'm
touched, but
so
it's
thankful for our community and for practitioners who really care. Like, we're not numb to this. We are not desensitized. And it's frustrating to see so many people just sort of go on today.
yeah,
The loss of children in such a tragic way, for it to have happened ever in our country and then for it to continue to happen is mind
mon
blowing. And we just want to thank all of you who today, whether or not you have children, whether or not this personally touched you, whether or not you live in Texas, we want to thank you so much for just being a caring individual. And
Mhm.
again, I'm so proud that this is the profession that I get to be a part of, and that I'm not a part of a profession that is toxic and inhumane and that is able to turn a blind eye to problems in the world. You solo PR pros are not afraid to get out there, to advocate, to be champions, to change, to volunteer, to get involved, to protest, to make it happen. And um, thank you for that. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah, it's a pretty monstrous thing that happens all too often, and it's kind
yeah,
of become our thing, and it's wrong on so many levels. So, today's topic is going to be a little lighter and it might feel weird, but at the same time, it's important. It's
yeah,
important that we take care of ourselves and that we look after each of us, look after our own well-being so that
yeah,
we can be strong to pursue the kind of world and country and life that is healthiest and prosperous for everyone, not
absolutely.
just those of us who apparently our right to pursue life and liberty is not as important as others. But anyway, so we turn our minds to actually the Memorial Day weekend and our gratitude for those who did sacrifice their very lifeblood so that we can talk about serious subjects or get silly on our little podcast.
Yes,
And the Memorial Day weekend is also the unofficial kickoff of summer, which brings a little levity to life in many ways, which is good and my goodness, much needed. So today we're going to talk about how the summer months are a great opportunity to reset and recharge personally and professionally. Maybe your workload slows down in the summer, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it heats up in different ways. I know that's true for me. My work changes a tiny bit since summer is event season and some of my clients are involved in the community. So, it gets a little busier. But we're just going to talk about, how can you use this change of season and change of pace that does happen in the corporate world to be the best opportunity for you.
well, it's funny, Michelle. In Michigan now, living in a in a place that has 2 seasons, because I feel like we only have 2 now, winter and summer, and that's it. Um, but living in a place that has 2 seasons, I've noticed this more, that regardless of how busy you are, there is an optimism and a cheer that comes along with summer.
Yeah.
And it's more than the sunshine. I link it back for myself to being a kid and looking forward to all the summer activities, the outdoor, picnics with your family and the reunions, and just being able to like play outside longer, and swimming and all of the fun things about summer vacations. And so it always makes me feel happy.
Mhm.
So I'm sure many of you experience that as well. And you notice there's just a different mood and a vibe in summer that I think that we want to harness, embrace, and lean into, especially in the times that we live in now. And even if you are very busy, I think it's important to carve out that time to work on your business and to work on yourself with some real vacation, real
What?
breakaway, unplug yourself. Not here's solo peer pros. This is for you. Not the vacation where you run around like a crazy person with all the appointments that you felt like you didn't have a chance to get to, with all of the errands and home improvement projects that you didn't get a chance to do. While all of those things can be fulfilling in a different way, I'm talking not work,
Right.
no work.
Right. Right. Like, like some of us have done taking the laptop with us to the beach. What?
And I mean, that honestly should be a part of our routine. That should
Yeah.
be part of our work life, where we take our work on the road and have a change of pace and a change of
Yeah.
scenery. And we give ourselves those little opportunities to get away, but we can still work when we need to.
Yeah. That's
That,
true.
my friends, is not a vacation.
No, it is not.
Just
Vacate.
a quick PSA, vacation equals not working.
Let let's break it down since we are word nerds at heart. Vacation, root word vacate, to remove, to be away, to not be present.
Yeah.
And you know what? And if this is making your palms sweat, which I get it, uh, start small. Maybe even just get out of the office. I'm sure many of you have had this happen. We make those appointments, maybe those medical things that we need or whatever, and you're out of the office for a few hours, maybe even half a day, and you realize, oh wait, the world did not crumble. I can be away from my work during a workday. It's it's okay.
Yeah.
No one is expecting you to be at your battle station the way maybe you think you should be. So, start small. If it's hard for you,
Yeah.
start small. Even, get out of your office. Make it a habit to work from another space. Get outside. Coffee shops have their nice umbrellas up. Or leave the work at home and just go to a coffee shop with a nice umbrella up and stare at the clouds. You need this.
Yeah, I completely agree. We do need that on a regular basis. And summer's the perfect time. The days are
Yeah.
longer. Shift your schedule. Think about, what do you want your summer schedule to look like? Because, again, I am guilty of this, and I
Mhm.
have really this year been reinforcing it big time, just because I had to, for my own health. Um, we can design the way that we work. And as
Yeah.
Michelle said, we, for so many years, and for those of us who have been in the workforce for any number of years, it's ingrained in you, this schedule, this traditional schedule, that you're in the office in the morning, and you don't leave before a certain time. And then for the workaholics among us, which is almost everybody, then you are continuing to work even past those hours, because let's face it, we all are overachievers, eager beavers, and we want to do our best work, and we don't even really think about it. So we
Right.
were those people that put in the extra time in our traditional work lives. We were the people that got the promotions and worked really hard, because that's kind of who we are. This is what this profession attracts. But you're a business owner. No one is going to dock your pay or give you a bad review if you're not in the office 8 hours a day or six
Right.
hours a day or 5 hours a day. Your
Mhm.
responsibility is to be responsible to your client to meet the expectations that you have set. But that doesn't mean that you have to be chained to your desk. And yeah, I agree that you should be responsive in your communications. But guess what? You can put everything on your phone. I have Slack on my phone. I have my Google Drive on my phone. If something really comes up while I'm out, I can find a quiet corner and I can deal with it. I can manage
Right.
it. I can do a Zoom meeting on my phone. So we just have to give ourselves the permission to exercise that freedom.
Right. And I think it also comes down to habit. I'm supremely guilty of this. You just get in your little rut of this is how I operate my day, and before you even realize it, you think, ugh, okay, I need a change of scene. So, one of the things we would encourage you to do is, yes, we all still have to be COVID cautious. I know in my county it's at high transmission rate. Yay. But I think we're so accustomed after these couple of years to not doing things, not that we might have done in the past for inspiration. So make a conscious effort to have new experiences or to return to your favorite experiences. Is that walking through a favorite museum? Is that making plans to see an exhibit? These things can be personal or professional, but whatever it takes to engage your brain and imagination in new ways, even if that's to relax your brain, you know, get out and see things and experience things that can help both give you refreshment and replenishment, and you'll probably get a nice little dose of inspiration as a byproduct that you wouldn't normally plan on.
It's so true. And but summer is also a good time to really retool your processes.
Mhm.
Take the time, like give yourself a vacation from constantly doing the work to working on your actual business.
Yeah.
Because this is a good time to look at, where am I? How do I want to end the year? How do I want to position myself for 2023? What things are working well for me? And what things do I need to tweak or eliminate? So, spend some time looking at your workflow. This is something that I find that we can tend to overlook. We don't look at how we actually do the work. We don't take a look at the steps that we use to get the results. Are there things that are repetitive? Are there things that you could swap out? Is there a more efficient way to do something?
Mhm.
The other thing that's a good thing to do in summer is start to document what you do. There are things that we do all the time. Document it. And I'll tell you why. When you document those processes, it makes it so much easier when you need to bring someone on, either temporarily or as a contractor that's going to support your business. You're not leaving things to chance. You have all your processes documented, and then you can quickly onboard somebody. I would
Mhm.
also recommend keeping track of activities in progress. I have a easy peasy little spreadsheet for my clients, and I just put stuff in there with and I have links to the emails and links to resources, quick little note on a spreadsheet with due dates and where it is in the process. And the
Mhm.
reason I've done that is because for the people that I work with, or if I needed to bring someone on in case of an emergency, people aren't scrambling to figure out what the heck is going on with their clients. Kelly Crane and I used to always say, if I get hit by a bus, you'll know what's going on. And it sounds really morbid, but we would always say that. And then I would, I hated it when she first said it. And I'm like, you're not gonna get hit by a bus. But we have to plan ahead. What if you are injured? What if someone in your family is injured? What if you have an emergency and need to be away and you need someone to care for your clients? Having an easily accessible spreadsheet that says, here's what's going on,
Yeah.
so that people can be quickly briefed, is a smart strategy. So
Oh,
summer, when our energy levels tend to be a little bit higher, even if our work doesn't slow down, or if the pace of work has slowed because clients are taking their vacations and they're away at events, this is a great time to do that. Work on those things that are going to make you better and set you up for even more success on the back half of the year.
Yeah, no, I am a firm believer in the in case I get hit by a bus because, hey, if it's all between your ears, it's not gonna do anyone any good if, God forbid something happens to you or me or
Yeah.
whomever. In fact, my former workplace, there was one person who was so integrated in even the infrastructure of how the building operated. I would joke with him and say, "Not for nothing. The day you pass, we are putting your brain in a jar with electrodes because we need what is inside it," which is a horribly morbid thing to say,
Well,
but
I have to tell you, I had an old boss who also used the hit by a bus analogy. And we were once in the middle of like a huge project where we were moving our offices from one building to another and we were doing a build out. And it was
Oh,
just, that's enormous work when you are planning all of your operations to take a full move. It's not just like
right.
packing the boxes, but the timeline that lining up with the architect. Well, our architect got
Yeah.
hit by a bus.
No.
Kid you not. Our architect got hit by a bus, and it was thankfully she lived, she was okay, but it
Sure.
just brought to life like that whole expression of in case you get hit by a bus because she had the blueprint. She had basically this whole move was hinging on her, and she got hit by a bus.
Okay, so listeners, see? It does happen.
It does happen. It does happen.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
so yes, as the good solos that we are, always be prepared. But, and summer, is another great time. Maybe there's that course you've been meaning to get to, that digital course that you signed up for and you have the playback link that I know how it goes, that, it's a good time to work that in, you
Yeah,
know?
I agree, and there's something meaty, like treat yourself to your own professional development summer school. And if there
Yeah.
are things that you would like Solo PR Pro to present during the summer, let
Mhm.
us know that. We're happy to do that. But, you know, break out your notebook so that you can take notes and give yourself permission to be fully immersed in learning something or
Yeah.
refreshing that skill set. I recently signed up for a list building course, not
Mhm.
because I don't know how to build an email list, but I haven't exposed myself to other people in that area in a very long time. And it was
Mhm.
something that I was really interested in doing. And I want to make sure that I'm not missing things. And I feel like you can always learn from people, or you
Oh,
can revive things that you may have forgotten to do. And also, you can hold yourself accountable to doing what you already know.
yeah.
So, I have jumped into that with gusto, taking notes and, really trying to stick to, the plan and the lessons. And it's great. I mean, it's very energizing and refreshing. And the fact that we have these digital courses, which is a little bit different from the in-person experience because you can sit with yourself, you can carve out the time, you can, have a quiet environment where you can really learn and soak it in. You can,
Mhm.
hit repeat, you can, in person, you can't tell the speaker like, I need the last 2 minutes again. I'm sorry.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Could you back up a bit? Yeah. No,
You
that
need the
that's
last
so
2 minutes
true.
exactly like you did it one more time.
No, that is so true, and really that's the whole point. We're just here to encourage you to
Yeah.
make the best use of this change of season and this new time and just sit back and evaluate. Yeah, how can I maybe give myself a little rest, do something different, learn something new, and then take yourself out for ice cream because you deserve it. So we hope you've enjoyed this time together today. We really hope that it's been an encouragement for you and during these days full of trials, we just wish you all the best and every good thing. And we thank you for listening to That Solo Life.